Part 46. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 452. Holding the fragrant shoulders of the beautiful bamboo, Lin Feng walked very slowly. People passing by, both men and women, would look at them both. This is the effect brought by beauty bamboo, not Lin Feng. That girl is so pretty and has a good figure. Is she a student of Beijing? If so, she will probably be the head of the Jade Girl on the screen in the future. I don't think she's from Beijing. No matter where she is, she's a school-level beauty. Lin Feng heard it. Beauty Bamboo also heard. Of course he was delighted that others had given his girlfriend such a high opinion. But the beautiful Bamboo is a little shy. She doesn't like being talked about by others, but others always talk about her. Lin Feng's duplex mansion, just walked to the living room. The strong visual impact made Tian Qingzu unable to calm down. She jumped and shouted. It's so luxurious, so beautiful, so grand. Brother Feng, is this duplex mansion really yours? It's mine and it's yours. Lin Feng, whose heart was surging, seemed very calm and low. At this time, he was urinating like that. Accompanied by the best beauty, he was shocked by the best beauty, and naturally he could pee a little. Lin Feng put his arms around the fragrant shoulder of beauty bamboo and sat on the sofa. He picked up a cigarette, put the lighter in Tian Qingzu's hand, and said with a smile, "Wife, light me a cigarette." Beauty bamboo did not correct me and said that I am your girlfriend and not your wife, because boyfriends and girlfriends often call husband and wife. The beautiful bamboo with a shy smile lit a cigarette for Lin Feng. Lin Feng sprayed the smoke on her face in one breath. She quickly wiped her eyes, and said softly, "Brother Feng, how are you?" Perhaps the pure and beautiful Tian Qingzu will be a master of when she arrives on the bed. Even if she uses her shy and delicate voice to get sex, she can achieve a very wonderful state. Lin Feng's hand fell on the belly of the beautiful bamboo, and kneaded for a long time, savoring the delicate smoothness attentively. His hand began to slowly move upstream, and the beautiful bamboo's breathing became more and more rapid. At this moment, her delicate face was as pink as peach blossoms. Lin Feng wanted to take pictures while stroking Tian Qingzu's body. Record the shyness of the beautiful bamboo. But there is no DV around him now. Even if there is, he will throw the DV through the glass window, no matter who it hits. He doesn't care. He just continued stroking the beautiful bamboo's body. This is how the skin like a cow looks like. That's how fatty skin looks like. Lin Feng's hand finally reached the edge of the beautiful bamboo chest photo. When she took off the chest photo of beauty bamboo, she shyly sighed. Lin Feng's hand began to caress the towering of the beautiful bamboo. He was so intoxicated. Beauty bamboo's breathing was so rapid. "Brother Feng, go to the second floor and have a look." "Okay." Lin Feng's hand first left beauty bamboo's chest, took her hand to the second floor, visited a few bedrooms, and also visited the study. The luxury and warmth of several bedrooms left a deep impression on beauty bamboo. At this time, Lin Feng and beauty bamboo sat beside the large desk in the study. "This study has great taste. It's just that there are too few books," Lin Feng said. "It's slowly increasing. Do you think it is necessary for me to increase the number of books all at once?" "If it is necessary, I will bring tens of thousands of dollars to the bookstore tomorrow to purchase," Lin Feng said with a smile. "You don't have to buy a useless book, or you won't read it after you buy it. It's boring." "I think so too," Lin Feng said. "We." This is the laughter from beauty bamboo. Hearing this he, Lin Feng suddenly wanted to touch Mei Zhu's body again. He wanted his hands to be very close to Mei Zhu's pants. So his hand reached the edge of the beautiful bamboo pants. The beautiful bamboo was still shy, and didn't remind him that she was not allowed to touch that part of her. "It seems to be touchable." Lin Fengzin said, "You are my girlfriend now, every part of your body is mine. If your brother Feng, if I urinate, it will make you very comfortable, but the first time, you have to endure pain, which is also a compulsory course in every woman's life. Come on, my green bamboo, brother Feng hugs you and sleeps together. Come, my green bamboo, brother Feng will make you feel pain first and then feel comfortable. Lin Feng's hand reached into the trousers of Beauty Bamboo, and at first he touched some details, and soon he felt the real thing. Very soft. Very moist. Oh 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 ah. Brother Feng, light your hand, it hurts. Lin Feng didn't feel how much strength he had used with his hands, but Beauty Bamboo was in pain. Maybe the beautiful bamboo will cry at that moment. Even if she sheds tears, Lin Feng intends to stay in her body for a long time. Lin Feng teased the wet place of the beautiful bamboo for more than 10 minutes in the study, and then carried her to the master bedroom. Trapped in luxury, with the big soft bed in front of her eyes, the beautiful bamboo became nervous. Lin Feng said, "Do you have something to say?" Tian Qingzu said, "Oh, brother Feng, can I stay there for a few days? Sooner or later I will be your person, you let me get used to it first, I just became your girlfriend for less than 3 years. Hours, if that's it now, too soon. Is it too fast?" Lin Feng felt that it was a bit too slow. If he was evil enough to the beautiful bamboo, I am afraid that she would be that before the summer vacation. But he couldn't bear it at all. At this time, Lin Feng was almost at the point where he had to send the arrow, but the beautiful bamboo didn't want to be with him this night. So he could only relax and remove the arrow from the string first, but the edge of the arrow is still there, and the string is still so strong. Okay. Brother Feng, have I disappointed you? Do you think my girlfriend is not happy at all? No, you are the best, Lin Feng said. I'm sorry, brother Feng, I know I'm making you uncomfortable now, but I'll give it to you later. Even if it's not that. Lin Feng also planned to put his arms around the beautiful bamboo and sleep in the mansion all night. It was obviously too early to go to bed now, and Lin Feng thought of one thing, and that was the diamond ring in his trouser pocket. This diamond ring was not the one given to him before, but he bought it at Jewelry City immediately after receiving the call from Beauty Bamboo, and spent 260,000 by credit card. The gorgeous diamond ring is presented in front of the beautiful bamboo. The beautiful bamboo suddenly sighed for a while, she knew that this was a real diamond, not a broken glass from the chandelier. Brother Feng, what a big diamond ring. Qingzu, send you. I do not want. You are my girlfriend. If you don't want me to give you a diamond ring, then you don't really love me, Lin Feng said. Tian Qingzu's love for Lin Feng must be true. Although she has not given her body to Lin Feng, she dares to use her life to protect her love for Lin Feng. This love has no impurities. But the big diamond ring in front of me was a little hot. Beauty Bamboo's eyes were so fascinated and dazed that even her brows furrowed. This state lasted for a few minutes. Beauty Bamboo finally took over the big diamond ring. She said softly, Brother Feng. I accepted it, thank you, but I didn't prepare any gifts for you. You don't need to prepare any gifts for me. You agreed to be my girlfriend, which is the best gift, Lin Feng said. Tian Qingzu really wanted to buy something for Lin Feng, but she had no money, and she only had a little living expenses on her body, not to mention expensive gifts, even a few $100s would bring enormous pressure to her life. Holding a large diamond ring worth 260,000 yuan in her hand, Tian Qingzu cried, bitter tears running down her delicate face. Lin Feng was stunned and said, Qingzu, what's wrong? I really want my dad to be happy. What happened to your father? No, my dad, nothing happened to my dad, it's just that his leg hurts more than before, you know, one of his legs is broken, every time he arrives, when the weather changes, it hurts a lot, I'm his daughter, but I can't share his pain. Beauty Bamboo's body is trembling, the beauty who was happy like a cute bird just now is now crying into tears. Just now Lin Feng really felt the happiness of Beauty Bamboo, and at this moment Lin Feng really felt the pain of Beauty Bamboo. Pain is already there. But happiness can continue into the future. If happiness can make up for pain, then life is complete, and Lin Feng hopes that he and Tian Qingzu are complete. The beautiful Bamboo calmed down a little, her tearful eyes flickered for a moment, and she smiled, "Brother Feng, wait for me, I'll wash my face." The beautiful Bamboo washed her face and was very excited when she appeared in front of Lin Feng again, because her steps were so lively just now. I am afraid that all the teachers and students of Beijing Normal University have never seen Miazu take such a lively step before. Lin Feng was very pissed, so he saw it. Sitting together on the soft velvet sofa and watching TV, watching high-definition channels on this large LCD TV is really shocking and wonderful enjoyment. Even if watching an advertisement, it makes people feel so happy. Lin Feng and Beauty Bamboo are happy together. Lin Feng chatted with the beautiful Bamboo. Lin Feng showed his knowledge in front of the beautiful Bamboo, from Beijing to Sanya, from Hong Kong to Macau, from Hawaii to Las Vegas, from Lop Nor to Bermuda, from Buddhism to Taoism. He couldn't believe it himself, that he had been chatting with the beautiful Bamboo for more than 3 hours in a row. In these more than 180 minutes, Lin Feng was like an excited speaker, his thing was so hard, his speech rate was so fast, and his voice was so sonorous and powerful. He talks and talks. The beautiful Bamboo listened and listened, her smile changed from brilliant to obsessed, from obsessive to stunned. "Brother Feng, you are so talented. I'm your boyfriend. I am so blessed, my dad will definitely like you to be his son-in-law. If you talk to him like this, I don't know how he will be happy, beautiful Zudeo. If you have a chance, let your father come to Beijing." "Okay, oh, I don't know if he wants to come or not. If he wants to, that's fine," Tian Qingzu said tenderly. "If my dad comes, let him live in your mansion. No problem at all. We take him to the sights. No problem. We took him to a movie. No problem. We take him to eat roast duck, we take him." Tian Qingzu said more than a dozen wishes, and Lin Feng did not have any problems. But the reality is that Tian Qingzu's father's willingness to come to Beijing to play may not be too big. The people's teacher who has a lot of stories but has always been ordinary, he went to Chengdu only so few times. To be continued. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 453. Let's sleep. The 5 words that Lin Feng said very gently made the beauty Zhu's body tremble. "How do you sleep?" "I hug you." "Undress." "Take off." "Oh, can I keep my pants off?" Tian Qingzu said. "Take it off first and then put it on, because I want to take a bath with you." "Do you want to take a bath in shorts?" Lin Feng said. Tian Qingzu doesn't really want to take a bath with Lin Feng, but she doesn't agree with Lin Feng for the time being. She is Lin Feng's girlfriend, so she can't always let Lin Feng down, so she agreed to take a bath together. She agreed to take off her first and then put them on. The large and luxurious bathroom is very tasteful, with jets and a whirlpool. Lin Feng plans to enjoy the whirlpool with the beautiful Bamboo. He could have taken off his clothes outside and came in, but he and the beautiful Bamboo came in with clothes on. But it's nothing, even if you take off your clothes in the bathroom, you don't have to worry about getting wet, because the bathroom has a special cabinet for storing clothes. Do you take it off yourself or do I take it off for you? You are my boyfriend. Beauty Bamboo's meaning is very clear. Let Lin Feng help her undress. Lin Feng is so willing. Lin Feng took off Belle Bamboo's clothes, and at this moment Belle Bamboo was left with a pair of trousers. She was wearing the pants that Lin Feng gave her before. The comfy trousers were wrapping her wetness and had been washed a few times. Still so comfortable to wear. Oh! When Lin Feng needed her panties, she screamed, because just now, a magical airflow was circulating in her body. She was very comfortable, so she called out. Lin Feng took off the beautiful bamboo pants. The naked beauty bamboo stood there awkwardly. When Lin Feng took off his clothes, he was also admiring the delicate body of the beautiful bamboo, graceful, so his movement was a little too slow. Lin Feng was gone. The beautiful bamboo saw his strong muscles, and also saw his proud and tall. At this time, the wounds Lin Feng and Black Panther suffered in the fight have healed, so the beautiful bamboo did not see any scars, so he didn't have to explain anything about the people and things that appeared in Taiyuan, Jin province. He didn't want the beautiful bamboo to know. Su Qingyuan said, I want to come to Beijing to find him. If Su Qingyuan comes, I am afraid that the Russian beauty Victoria will also come. Lin Feng didn't want them to come, but they might come. Because they have money. Lin Feng is her boyfriend. So that proud, tall and straight belongs to her. If the beautiful bamboo is in an extraordinary state of mind, then she will find that she is suddenly much richer at this moment. Because she didn't have much money, she already owned the eggs of a strong man, and Lin Feng's eggs belonged to her. It can be used at any time, but cannot be cut off and thrown away. Lin Feng and Beauty Bamboo went to the surfing tub together, the warm water washed their bodies, and the two of them murmured. Lin Feng was teasing the wet place of Beauty Bamboo, but Beauty Bamboo said, Brother Feng, you sing to me. Lin Feng said that Brother Feng did not sing very well. Beauty Bamboo said, I love to hear. So Lin Feng sang intoxicated. The night is very beautiful, the wind is very cold, I haven't smelled your fragrance for a long time, with a shy and timid face, I can't help holding it in the palm of my hand. Men and women, murmuring, soft whispering is a wave, slapping on the gentle shore, it is easy to get confused if you are not careful. Sounds so good. The Beauty Bamboo gave a high evaluation, and soon let out an intoxicated gasp, because Lin Feng's provocation made her very comfortable. I agreed to take off the first and then put them back on. I took them off just now, so I walked out of the bathroom, and the beautiful bamboo put on the again. It was the first time that she walked around wearing only panties, her tall and smooth were trembling slightly, and she didn't need to be sentenced even if she was fascinated. Lin Feng hugged Beauty Bamboo's delicate body and lay down on the soft bed. Beauty Bamboo immediately felt that this big soft bed was too comfortable. If one sleeps on such a comfortable bed, it is possible to oversleep in bed. Lin Feng first touched her chest, and then teased her wetness. The beautiful bamboo complained, Brother Feng, you always touch that place. I want to touch you. Touch it? Beauty Zhu Xian said, I'm your girlfriend anyway. I've never been touched by any man before, so you can touch me as much as you like. Continue to tease while kissing. At 2 o'clock in the morning, both of them finally fell asleep. Nothing like that happened until morning. Tian Qingzhu was mentally prepared, maybe suddenly, she would feel a burst of pain, but she had been sleeping soundly, and Lin Feng did not suddenly break in and wake her up in pain. Morning. When leaving the mansion, the beautiful bamboo took the diamond ring she had already accepted and asked Lin Feng to keep it for her. It is obviously not suitable for such a valuable thing to be placed in the school dormitory. Beijing Normal University, although it is not yet 9 o'clock, the campus is already full of people, both old and new. The breath of youth is flying, and proud faces can be seen everywhere, because there are not many setbacks, so proud. Lin Feng and Tian Qingzhu appeared hand in hand, which immediately caused a strong sensation. The school flower is here. It really is green bamboo. Our beautiful schoolgirl and that kid Lin Feng are getting closer and closer. Is she really Lin Feng's girlfriend? It's possible. It is estimated that the true relationship between Lin Feng and the beautiful bamboo will soon spread in Beijing Normal University. At that time, some animals will definitely be depressed or even angry. Now that he has obtained such a superb girlfriend, Lin Feng will protect her. Lin Feng sent Beauty Zhu to the door of the girls' dormitory, and watched Beauty Zhu walk in gracefully before he left. He thought about it all. If someone spoke unkindly to him at this time, he would punch him. The beautiful bamboo is already his girlfriend. If anyone refuses to accept it, he will show his urination to his heart's content. If a man urinates a lot, then this man is not easy to mess with. If a man with high kung fu urinates a lot, then this man can't be messed with at all. Lin Feng came out of the university, so he can basically tell which ones are freshmen and which ones are old. I don't know what the level of girls in the freshmen of Beijing Normal University is this year. It is estimated that no one can replace the status of the beautiful bamboo school flower unless she completely graduates. The school flower of Beijing Normal University will change hands. Beauty is everywhere. But beauties are also divided into 3, 6, 9, and so on. Very high-end beauties like Tian Qingzhu and Dainan are 1 in a million. Lin Feng is quite blessed, and one of these high-end beauties is his girlfriend. One is his most beautiful red face. When Lin Feng went to Fengnan fashion store, what was seen was a thriving scene. More than a dozen customers wandered among the shelves, which has not been seen for a long time. Dainan's smile was bright, but she couldn't take care of her. When Lin Feng came, he naturally got busy with her. More than half an hour later, more than a dozen customers left the store and basically bought things. On the edge of the cash register, Dainan's round buttocks twisted a few times. He smiled and looked at Lin Feng's face and said, "Not long after the door was opened, it was sold for more than 300 yuan, and it is very likely to exceed 2,000 yuan today." "I think so too." Lin Feng raised his hand and patted Dainan's butt. Dainan said angrily, "You kid has a girlfriend as good as Qingzhu, and you can never eat my tofu in the future. My most beautiful girl is not for you to eat tofu." "I didn't eat your tofu. You patted my just now." "Who made your twists so hard?" Lin Feng said with a smile. "You bastard, you are going too far. Do you just shoot my ass?" "Just shoot." "Don't shoot." Dainan's face was rosy. She is very happy. Because Lin Feng and Tian Qingzhu are finally boyfriend and girlfriend relationship. And she also plans to play with Lin Feng as little as possible in the future to avoid affecting the relationship between Lin Feng and the beautiful bamboo. Another customer came in. Dainan was busy. Lin Feng sat on the edge of the cashier counter, smoking while reminiscing about his ambiguity with the beautiful bamboo last night. Although not that, but he is also very enjoyable. At the same time, he was also thinking about when Beauty Bamboo would be willing to let him have sex, in a week, a month, or a few months. Lin Feng even hoped that the beautiful bamboo would let him have tomorrow night, but this possibility is not big. Lin Feng returned to the master bedroom. He was crazy and started to code quickly. With a good girlfriend like Tian Qingzhu, he plans to code more diligently in the future. Tian Qingzhu had a hard life before, and Lin Feng planned to let Tian Qingzhu live a good life with him in the future. Before noon, Lin Feng typed out 6,000 words, divided it into 2 chapters, and put it in the manuscript deposit box. Lighting a cigarette, Lin Feng thought of Ai Wen, and at the same time, Ai Wen said that his royalties could be raised again soon. Lin Feng wondered again how much the price increase could mention. He estimated that at least 150,000 words could be mentioned. If it was higher than 150,000 words, then he would be happier. If it wasn't for the sensation of Yang Chunbaixu at the beginning, maybe he is still very mediocre now. Lin Feng doesn't like to do this kind of hype, but Yang Chunbaixu helped him to hype it up, so that many readers can see the level of his novels. The standard is very high. Here comes the opportunity. So he became more and more popular. Whether he is willing to accept it or not, it is an indisputable fact that Yang Chunbaixu is Shen Bingqian. Shen Bingqian chose an extraordinary path for herself. After selling herself for 30 million yuan, Lin Feng did not intend to interfere with Shen Bingqian's path. After Lin Feng and Dinan had dinner together in the small shop, he returned to the master bedroom without rest, and continued to code. When 4 o'clock in the afternoon came, he wrote another 9,000 words. Today, he has already typed 15,000 words. If he continued to code, he would soon break through 20,000 words. Lin Feng planned to stop and read the book. His cell phone rang. He thought it was his girlfriend Tian Qingzhu, but it turned out to be Zhu Qingyu. Lin Feng picked it up and said with a smile, "Sister Qingyu, do you miss me? You kid, flirting with me again, why do I miss you? Then why are you calling me?" Lin Feng laughed. "You kid is really annoying. Since you don't want to receive my call, then I hang up. Don't be angry, I was just joking, saying, what are you looking for from me? You are my sister Feng Yun. If you need my help with anything, I will be happy to serve you," Lin Feng said. "The mouth is really sweet, do you want to eat the dishes I made?" "I want to eat," Lin Feng said. "Then you come to my house." The beautiful head nurse Zhu Qingyu asked him to be a guest at home, but Lin Feng couldn't find a reason to refuse, so he happily agreed. To be continued. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 454. Evening. Lin Feng and Zhu Qingyu met on the agreed street. The charming she was wearing a short skirt and a shirt, but what flashed in Lin Feng's mind was how she was wearing a nurse's uniform. Zhu Qingyu was in a good mood, smiled brightly, and said sweetly, "What's the matter, don't you know me? Look at me with that kind of eyes. A woman as delicate and charming as Sister Qingyu, once I know her, I will never forget it. Your kid's mouth is sweet." Zhu Qingyu said in her heart, "You are clearly teasing me, but why am I not angry at all? Probably because, you and my big river have a lot of similarities." Lin Feng didn't think he had any similarities with De He, but Zhu Qingyu insisted that he and De He were so similar, such as when he smiled or smoked. Zhu Qingyu's house is not luxurious, but the atmosphere is warm, and the warm decoration and furniture and appliances make people's hearts warm. Perhaps it was because Zhu Qingyu was a person who was very afraid of the cold, so she made her home show this style. Women who have really hurt their hearts are generally very afraid of the cold. They are both afraid of the cold of the body and the cold of the heart. Zhu Qingyu has really broken her heart, so she is very afraid of the cold. Once she feels cold, she will feel helpless, and the sad things from the past will break into her mind. "You sit. I'll look left and right first," Lin Feng said. "Then you will see." Zhu Qingyu didn't mind Lin Feng admiring her house, because Lin Feng was invited by her. Lin Feng seemed to be going too far, he even visited the restroom and bathroom. Zhu Qingyu wasn't angry, but she didn't seem to want to open her sleeping room for Lin Feng to see. A large round glass ashtray was placed on the coffee table, and Lin Feng lit a soft-packed yellow Crane Tower 1916 and smoked it. He only took such a good pack of cigarettes in order to get shy in front of Zhu Qingyu. Lin Feng felt that it was quite okay to sneer in front of the beautiful and charming head nurse, so if he had the opportunity today, he would sneer to his heart's content. If he makes Zhu Qingyu's body more and more wet, that is his ability. In fact, even if Lin Feng didn't hesitate, Zhu Qingyu would be wet when she saw him, because she could find De He's shadow from Lin Feng's body. Zhu Qingyu walked to his side with graceful steps, smiled and said, "Let Sister Qingyu take a look. What brand of cigarettes are you smoking?" Lin Feng did not put the cigarette case on the coffee table. He shook the cigarette in front of Zhu Qingyu, and the beautiful head nurse immediately saw it clearly, her lips twitched, and she let out a gasp. He sighed, "You are really good boy. You smoke such good cigarettes. But I know very well that such good cigarettes must not be bought by you, but given to you by others." Lin Feng smiled and said, "You are very clear about this. Because your sister, the woman who has divorced from your brother-in-law and is happy in the United States, also gave me a lot of good cigarettes. If you hadn't repaired her and made her afraid of you, how could she be so kind enough to give you cigarettes? Zhu Qingyu didn't seem to have a good opinion of her own sister, otherwise she would not have spoken in such a tone, as if it was a matter of course for that woman to be repaired by Lin Feng. Zhu Qingyu went to the kitchen, and Lin Feng sat on the sofa in the living room watching TV. He felt that Zhu Qingyu's home would definitely have several photo albums, which contained many photos worthy of collection. If you see those photos, it's like seeing the story of Zhu Qingyu's past. Maybe Zhu Qingyu had already sealed up those albums, and she seldom read them herself, so Lin Feng would not take the initiative to look at her albums. He came to eat, not to rub salt on Zhu Qingyu's wounds. When he smelled the aroma of the vegetables, Lin Feng couldn't sit still and walked slowly towards the kitchen. Zhu Qingyu, who was cooking, heard footsteps and knew that Lin Feng was coming, and a light smile appeared on the corner of her mouth. This smile is not supposed to be emotional, but the emotion is special. Lin Feng walked in and stood beside her. Zhu Qingyu didn't look at Lin Feng's face, she continued to stare at the dishes in the frying pan, and said with a smile, "Why did you come in? Are you hungry? If you are hungry, you should eat it first. Make up for the hamburger." "I don't like hamburgers." "Then eat cake." "I don't like cake either," Lin Feng said. "It seems that you have no love for desserts. What do you like to eat?" "Oh, there is elbow meat in the refrigerator. I cut it up and put it on a plate." "You can eat it first." "I'm not very hungry, I'm just waiting to eat your dishes." "I came in just to see your cooking," Lin Feng said. "What's so good about my cooking?" Zhu Qingyu soon realized that when she was cooking, her towering chest would tremble slightly, and her slender legs were also very chic. Could it be that Lin Feng walked into the kitchen to hunt for beauty? When she looked at Lin Feng, she found that Lin Feng seemed to be admiring her chest, her face flushed red, and anger appeared between her brows. She didn't despise Lin Feng or ridicule her, she just smiled. "You go out first, you can eat it later." Just now, Lin Feng noticed the slightly angry mood between Zhu Qingyu's eyebrows. He smiled and walked out. When he sat down on the sofa again, he found that his body was very straight. "I don't know when it got up and down, but it's in progress at this time." Zhu Qingyu cooked 4 dishes and 1 soup to entertain Lin Feng, and took out the pork belly from the refrigerator by the way. The staple food was flour rolls. Lin Feng and the beautiful head nurse sat facing each other to eat. What they saw was a charming charm, what they smelled was the aroma of a woman's body, and what they ate in their mouths were home-cooked dishes. Very comfortable. Very happy. After clinking glasses, they both took a sip of red wine, and Zhu Qingyu said, "I've been reading your novels. Is it genuine?" "It must be genuine, but I watched it on my mobile phone." Zhu Qingyu smiled. "That's okay, it's all for my support. If it wasn't for the plot of your novel that attracted me, I wouldn't support you at this moment." Zhu Qingyu's smile was so charming. After a short pause, he said, "Actually, forget it, let's not talk about it. Just say it if you want to." "How uncomfortable it is to hold back," Lin Feng said. Zhu Qingyu also felt that it was hard to hold back, so she said, "My good friend, Mi Yanqing, the beautiful owner of the wine in the 1980s, is also reading your novel. Guess what she thinks? My relationship with Mi Yanqing is very tense. It is estimated that she will not give any good comments. As long as the woman who is mad and terrifying doesn't make fun of me in the book review area, I will be satisfied," she said. "Your writing is very good, but you are too jerk." Zhu Qingyu smiled and said, "She makes you depressed, and you make her depressed too. So try to meet as little as possible in the future. Then spend the next year or 2. No one will take the past seriously," Lin Feng said. "Wouldn't that be a stranger?" "Yes. Stranger is very good. Although I bought my mansion from Mi Yanqing, I have dealt with her seriously. But I don't want to make friends with her, Lin Feng said. Zhu Qingyu snorted and did not continue to say anything about it. She understood even more what Lin Feng's impression of Mi Yanqing was. At the same time, she also felt that Lin Feng and Mi Yanqing did not necessarily have to be friends. Many people walking on the street were basically not friends. If one offended the other, they might quarrel or fight. Is it tasty? Delicious, Lin Feng said. Don't look at me all the time, eat quickly. I didn't look at you, I've been eating. Lin Feng was a little embarrassed. His gaze fell on Zhu Qingyu's face when she realized it, and she mistakenly thought that his gaze had stayed on her face for a long time. Lin Feng and Zhu Qingyu didn't drink much red wine until the meal was over. It could be said that they had just tasted it. Zhu Qingyu had no intention of getting drunk in front of him at all. Sitting on the sofa together to watch TV, Lin Feng was drinking tea, but Zhu Qingyu said, "Why don't you smoke? You should smoke." Lin Feng said, "I just finished smoking one," and Zhu Qingyu said, "Then you order another one, I want to see how you smoke." The beautiful head nurse clearly wanted to see him smoking and recalled Dahi in her heart. When Zhu Qingyu told Lin Feng just now that you smoked, it was like saying you kiss me. Lin Feng lit a cigarette and started smoking, and Zhu Qingyu began to greedily admire Lin Feng's smoking. At the same time, Zhu Qingyu's body was also approaching him little by little. He didn't know if Zhu Qingyu's soft body would suddenly lean on him and hug him and make other requests. Fortunately, the way he smokes and smiles is very similar to Dahi. If he looks like Dahi when he urinates or takes a shower, then every time he sees Zhu Qingyu, he has to take off his pants to pee or wash. Although he is very peeing, he will definitely be able to urinate if no one asks him to urinate. The moment the phone rang, Zhu Qingyu's body trembled for a while, then she regained her senses and grabbed the phone to take a look, and she immediately laughed with joy, because the call was from Mi Yanqing, a cool beauty. Lin Feng was very depressed. Why did Mi Yanqing call Zhu Qingyu at such a romantic and warm moment? Zhu Qingyu picked it up. "Yanqing, what's the matter? I'm almost at your house. I happen to do something here. I want to go to your place to eat. I guess you have eaten by this point. Do you have any leftovers?" "Have. Then I'll go. Come on." Zhu Qingyu happily agreed that Mi Yanqing came to eat rice. Lin Feng was a little depressed. Just now Zhu Qingyu should ask for his opinion. But here is Zhu Qingyu's house, he is just a guest, the master's friend is coming, do you still need to ask the guest's opinion? Mi Yanqing has arrived. Zhu Qingyu opened the door for her, and she quickly walked into the living room. Mi Yanqing couldn't believe her eyes. She saw Lin Feng, the plague, in the living room of Zhu Qingyu's house. Avian flu, bird flu. Mi Yanqing screamed suddenly, wearing a short skirt. She didn't know what to do with her slender legs. Mad cow disease, mad cow disease. Lin Feng did not show weakness at all. Since Mi Yanqing said he had bird flu, then he said that Mi Yanqing had mad cow disease. Peach Youth. Author, Sci-fi. Chapter 455. Mi Yanqing probably thought that at Zhu Qingyu's house, Lin Feng didn't dare to do anything to her, so she rushed over and pointed at Lin Feng's face. "What did you say? Who is mad cow disease? Who told you to say I have bird flu first?" "I'm not talking about you, it's today's news," Mi Yanqing said. "I'm not talking about you, it's the news from a few years ago." "You bastard." Mi Yanqing was so mad that she almost forgot that Lin Feng was a kung fu master. She raised her slender legs and kicked Lin Feng's chest. Seeing that the high-heeled sandals of this glamorous beauty were about to kick his chest, Lin Feng grabbed her in an instant, admiring Mi Yanqing's in this posture. The angle was extremely good. Hee hee ha ha. The cool and beautiful Mi Yanqing was wearing black trousers today. Her slender legs were white and tender, and the trousers were black, with clear black and white, and the silhouette was very hot. "You rascal, let go of my legs." While Mi Yanqing was struggling, her short skirt rolled up to her thighs, and it was over and disappeared again. She already knew very well that Lin Feng saw her again, and this time the distance was closer than before. I want to slap Lin Feng, but I can't hit his face. I want to hit his chest, but I can't touch his body. Mi Yanqing burst into tears. Hearing Zhu Qingyu saying that you should release Yan Qing's legs, Lin Feng released her now, so it was to give Zhu Qingyu face. Zhu Qingyu was very ashamed and said in her heart, Lin Feng, your kid has admired Mi Yanqing's pants for at least 2 minutes this time, which is even more extreme than before. Angry. Where did Mi Yanqing still have the heart to eat rice? She ran out hungry. Zhu Qingyu chased out, and shouted, Yanqing, please slow down. Then he grabbed Mi Yanqing's arm on the stairs. Mi Yanqing stopped and stared at Zhu Qingyu's face with tears in her eyes. She choked and complained, you really are, that Lin Feng is at your house, why didn't you tell me in advance? You didn't ask who was at my house at the time. I'll go. You're really good. Naturally, you are always alone in your home. Every time I came to see you before, you were basically at home alone. But today, oh, hurry up and be honest. You ask Lin Feng. Are you coming over to make an appointment? Mi Yanqing asked. The word about the gun brought a strong stimulus to Zhu Qingyu. She said angrily, it's like we met the first day. Don't you know me? Am I such a casual person? If I were a little more casual, now I don't know what the fall is like. Zhu Qingyu is charming, and the smell emanating from her body is very attractive to men, if she is a little more casual. I'm afraid there will be many men willing to do something with her. Maybe you're not casual, but you must be very wet. I'm leaving first, you go back, do whatever you want with that Lin Feng. I try to come to your house as little as possible in the future, so as not to meet people you don't want to see. To something you don't want to bump into. Mi Yanqing broke free from Zhu Qingyu's hand and walked downstairs quickly. Zhu Qingyu said in her heart, Lin Feng provoked you. Listening to what you mean, he wanted to distance himself from me. However, I don't think you would easily destroy our friendship. Zhu Qingyu went to the living room again, and saw that Lin Feng was watching TV indifferently. She stood in front of Lin Feng and said angrily, bastard boy. What's the matter with you? I invited you to be a guest at home, you can't give me face what? I wanted to give you face, but unfortunately, Mi Yanqing didn't give me face. You saw it just now. She was provocative. I didn't slap her twice. She is a beautiful woman, you let her order. Zhu Qingyu's voice suddenly softened. Putting everything aside, Mi Yanqing is indeed a very beautiful beauty. Even if you look at the whole Beijing city, Mi Yanqing can be called a top beauty. Lin Feng was even a little annoyed that his relationship with Mi Yanqing had become like this. This is the end of the matter, annoyance is useless, and he hopes to meet as little as possible in the future, but he always feels that he and Mi Yanqing will have other entanglements in the future. Sister Qingyu, then I'll go first. I'm a little sorry for you to be a guest this time. I hope Mi Yanqing will not take anger on you because of the conflict just now, Lin Feng said. Since you're here, what are you in a hurry to go? I still have something for you to see, Zhu Qingyu said. In fact, Mi Yanqing had already taken anger at me. Lin Fengzin said, what do you want to show me? Could it be that I saw Mi Yanqing's trousers just now, and you want to show me the trousers too? Mi Yanqing is wearing black trousers. What kind of trousers are you wearing? If you are wearing no color pants, didn't I even see the contents of the pants? Zhu Qingyu brought 2 heavy albums and an urn. The atmosphere in the living room changed immediately. Anyone who suddenly saw the urn would feel very special. Look at your face, are you scared by this urn? Don't worry, my big river will not scare people. He has given me dreams several times before, but whenever he appears in my dreams, it is a beautiful dream. Since he left, he has never let me have nightmares. Do you know why? Zhu Qingyu said. Why? Because he loves me, Zhu Qingyu said. A living person is still so emotional to a dead person, which shows that the love is very deep. Lin Feng understands love, because he has loved Shen Bingqian and Shang Yuna before, but now he loves Tian Qingzhu. The object of love has changed, but every love is true. But Zhu Qingyu's love for Dai shocked him and at the same time made him feel in awe. Photo album of Lin Feng and Zhu Qingyu. Among them are photos of Zhu Qingyu in middle school and college, as well as many group photos of her and Dai, as well as a single photo of her and Dai. Dai is tall and handsome. Although he was looking at the photo, Lin Feng could see a kind of sunshine and righteousness between Dai's eyes and eyebrows. Lin Fengzin said that Dai is indeed a good man, a man who can entrust a woman with her life, but unfortunately, his life was a little short. Lin Feng saw dozens of group photos of Zhu Qingyu and Dai. By Dai's side, Zhu Qingyu was a little bird. Lin Feng said, "You and Dai are a good match." "Yeah, it's a good match. If Dai and I get married. Now that both of our children are in kindergarten, the task of picking up the children must be his, because he has more free time than me. Sister Qingyu, if you always think about this, it will be a bit too torturous. You can think of Dai, but you should also have a new life of your own. Dai in the spirit of the sky definitely doesn't want you to be like this. Maybe, I really don't know." Zhu Qingyu didn't know what the expression meant, and Lin Feng couldn't understand it even more. Lin Feng was very worried that Zhu Qingyu would also open the urn so that he could see Dai's ashes. Kung Fu masters also have nightmares. Dai didn't let Zhu Qingyu have nightmares, but it was very likely that he would have nightmares. So he didn't want to see Dai's ashes. Fortunately, Zhu Qingyu offered her favor and did not open Dai's urn in front of him. The album was put away. The urn was also put away. The atmosphere in the living room changed from heavy to light, because Lin Feng found a very light topic and chatted with Zhu Qingyu. This chat was a long time. Before I knew it, it was 10 o'clock in the evening. Lin Feng said, "Sister Qingyu, I should go. If, forget it, if you leave, I won't drive you, and you can go back as you came." Zhu Qingyu seemed to be very lost, her eyes were wet and dull. "What if?" "Nothing. You can say it," Lin Feng said. "If you go, I'm afraid I'll cry all night because I really want to cry. If I don't go, you won't cry. With you by my side, I will be a little happier," Zhu Qingyu said, "but I also know that my requirements are too much. Then I'm not leaving." Lin Feng is a little bit blaming himself in his heart. Why can't he move his footsteps? Is it because the beautiful head nurse Zhu Qingyu is too charming, so he is not afraid of Dai's ghost looking for him? Really not leaving? Real? You are really a good and understanding person. Let's watch the movie, Zhu Qingyu said. "What movie?" "Find it from the computer, there are various types." At this time, the charming beauty Zhu Qingyu was like a child who was afraid of the dark night and found a companion. Very excited. Seeing Zhu Qingyu's abnormal steps and seeing Zhu Qingyu's abnormal twisting, Lin Feng gradually became excited. Just tonight, he is going to jump for joy with the charming beauty Zhu Qingyu. To what extent can he jump? He doesn't know yet. The bedroom is also warm, filled with the smell of a woman's body, as well as a kind of wet smell. The bed was wide and soft, with a pillow and a backrest. When sleeping at night, no matter how Zhu Qingyu turned over or how indecent her sleeping position was, she was unlikely to meet another person. The long sofa by the bed was a style that Lin Feng had seen on the internet before. At that time, he was looking for relevant information and pictures to write a book, and when he saw the sofa, he thought it was very friendly at the time, but now it is in Zhu Qingyu's house. The bedroom saw it. At the same time, he also saw the lace bust and panties. Zhu Qingyu seemed a little flustered, and quickly put away the bust and panties. By the way, she emphasized that they were all washed. If they were just replaced, I would never throw them away. Originally, Lin Feng was not her man, so she didn't need to explain this, but she explained it anyway. The computer turned on. Lin Feng and Zhu Qingyu started watching the film, which was an urban romance film selected by Zhu Qingyu. The plot is not bad, but there are a lot of ambiguous scenes. Since Zhu Qingyu doesn't care, Lin Feng doesn't care. Half an hour later, Zhu Qingyu smiled and said, "Brother Lin Feng, can I borrow your strong body to lean on?" Lin Feng was smoking, and then spit out a smoke ring. "What are you going to do?" As if to tease her. After thinking about it carefully, what she said just now meant to tease Lin Feng. Maybe Lin Feng felt that he was teased, so he fought back. It's simple. Depend on. So Zhu Qingyu's soft and enchanting body leaned up, and he enjoyed the fragrant warmth. Peach Youth. Author, Sci-fi. Chapter 456. Keep watching the movie. Another ambiguous shot: a man pushes a woman onto the bed, and then it turns black and white, proving that everything that should have happened has already happened, and then it's done. As for the sound of popping and the voice of the woman shouting, I naturally didn't hear it, because it was not that kind of film. But this kind of scene has already made the atmosphere more ambiguous. Lin Feng's body is burning with fire. I'm afraid Zhu Qingyu's body is also rising. You're very handsome, boy. Good. How many have you been on? Not many, Lin Feng said. Does it feel very different to do that with a different woman? Some are famous, some are not. Lin Feng really did not expect that the beautiful head nurse Zhu Qingyu would ask him such a question. In fact, when doing this kind of thing, the mood is very important. If the mood is there, it is as comfortable as possible. You must have been comfortable before. Lin Feng doesn't know if Zhu Qingyu is black fungus. Maybe that strong man in Dahe has turned her into black fungus. That was a long time ago. After my big river left, I have never had that relationship with any man again. When do you think? Lin Feng said. Hands. When Zhu Qingyu said these two words, her soft body shivered suddenly. It was not that Lin Feng touched her sensitive part, but that she felt that she said too much. She said one sentence to another, and then said more. So they all started to be silent. Lin Feng and Zhu Qingyu didn't talk much until the film was finished, and it was past midnight. Zhu Qingyu wanted to arrange a room for him. He agreed, and did not propose to sleep with Zhu Qingyu. Maybe the two of them really slept together. He will affect Zhu Qingyu's hands. In front of him, Zhu Qingyu was probably embarrassed to use her hands, and with Zhu Qingyu's state of mind at this time, she was probably even more embarrassed to use his thing. Wouldn't it be more unbearable if nothing worked? Lin Feng arrived at the second bedroom. This room was obviously rarely occupied by people. So a bit chilly. Lin Feng lay down on the bed, lit a cigarette, and took out his mobile phone to read the novel. He was accustomed to subscribe to the latest chapter of his novel with his mobile phone. After browsing, he started to read a novel he was following up recently. When he checked the time again, it was 1:30 in the morning. He estimated that Zhu Qingyu had not fallen asleep at this time. Maybe she's crying, maybe she's fantasizing, maybe she's using her hands. People walking on the street didn't know what she had done, and her colleagues in a large tertiary hospital didn't know what she had done, but when she was alone, she would do whatever she wanted. Zhu Qingyu was indeed still not asleep. But she wasn't using her hands were always far away from her panties, and she was imagining that she was crying too. She didn't want to cry anymore, so she wanted someone else to stop her tears. Wearing pajamas, she walked out of the bedroom and knocked on the door of the second bedroom where Lin Feng was. At this time, Lin Feng had just closed the phone to read the page, and opened the door when she heard the knock. There are no his pajamas here. He didn't take off his clothes, and he still looked like he was eating and watching movies together. Sister Qingyu, what's wrong? Look into my eyes. Have you cried again? Lin Feng said. I don't want to, but I can't control my tears. Why don't we both smoke together? Do you smoke here or go to your place? Lin Feng said. Go to my place. Zhu Qingyu walked out of the second bedroom, and Lin Feng also walked out with a cigarette, and went to Zhu Qingyu's bedroom together. Lit the cigarette and smoked together. The smoke lingered. Zhu Qingyu leaned on Lin Feng again. Do you think I am shameless? No. I took the initiative to eat your tofu. I have the suspicion that the old cow eats the tender grass, Zhu Qingyu said. We've never had that before. If I want to be with you. Do you agree? Zhu Qingyu asked. Agree. I knew your kid would agree, but I don't, Zhu Qingyu said. I rely on. It was played inadvertently. A charming woman must have a very good way of tossing a man. In order to punish this charming woman, Lin Feng touched her full chest through her pajamas. Those two peaks are very proud and very elastic. Lin Feng kneaded in different ways, but Zhu Qingyu did not resist at all, but her breathing became more and more rapid. Lin Feng kissed her lips, and after a minute, she opened her lips and kissed Lin Feng warmly. After the kiss, Lin Feng lifted Zhu Qingyu's pajamas and kissed from her flat belly to her towering chest. Naturally, he would not let the two purple buds go. Lin Feng was like a greedy child. Little baby, haven't you eaten yet? Hearing what Zhu Qingyu said, Lin Feng stopped instantly, pinched her face, and said with a smile, You don't have any milk. Screw you. Bang bang bang. Zhu Qingyu punched him 3 times and said angrily, Go back to the room you just now. I'm afraid you will cry. From now until dawn, I won't cry. Zhu Qingyu grabbed Lin Feng and pushed him out. Morning. Lin Feng and Zhu Qingyu had breakfast together. Zhu Qingyu went to work in the hospital, and Lin Feng also went home. The whole morning was spent drowsy, and after lunch, he began to code. When he had nearly 5,000 words in the code, the phone rang, and it was his girlfriend Tian Qingzu who called. Qingzu, come find me. I'm calling you to find you, I'll be there in a while. Tian Qingzu's voice was always so sweet. Half an hour later, the beautiful bamboo in casual clothes appeared in front of Lin Feng. Lin Feng hugged her graceful waist and went to the master bedroom together. Lin Feng kissed Tian Qingzu's lips. She was not very skilled in kissing, and she tried her best to match Lin Feng's rhythm, for fear that Lin Feng would be uncomfortable with the kiss. Lin Feng is very cool. During the kiss, Tian Qingzu's lower abdomen felt Lin Feng's uprightness, which made her heartbeat rhythm even more abnormal. Lin Feng continued to code. Tian Qingzu sat beside him, watching him code and eating fruit at the same time. Beauty Bamboo ate an apple and then a banana. When Lin Feng reached 9,000 words, he stopped and sat on the sofa with the beautiful Bamboo. When Lin Feng stroked her chest, she said that many people in the school asked her about her relationship with Lin Feng. She said, I'm already Lin Feng's girlfriend. Lin Feng smiled happily because it gave him a sense of accomplishment. Tian Qingzu said again, Brother Feng, do you know? I am proud to be your girlfriend. Why? Because you are someone you can trust and rely on, Tian Qingzu said. What if I cheated? If you cheat, just don't let me see it, and also, you can't abandon me because of other women, or I will make you never see me. Tian Qingzu's pink fist hit Lin Feng's chest a bit. Lin Feng twisted Tian Qingzu's face and smiled, Qingzu, don't worry, I won't abandon you because of any other woman. Chang Yaxing called, and Lin Feng picked it up. Yaxing. Are you looking for me? Brother Lin Feng, what are you doing? Are you coding? Can I come over and play with you? I'm with Qingzu. Oh, I haven't told you yet, Qingzu is already my girlfriend, Lin Feng said. Chang Yaxing was silent for almost a minute. She didn't say anything, and suddenly laughed, seemingly very happy. It's great, the two of you have finally come together. In fact, I have been blessing you all the time. I have already prepared gifts for you. Chang Yaxing wanted to come over to give gifts to Lin Feng and Tian Qingzu, but Lin Feng couldn't seem to find any reason to refuse, only to agree to her coming. Dainan has never liked Chang Yaxing very much, and thinks that she seems to be quite scheming, and Chang Yaxing will be Tian Qingzu's potential opponent. But Tian Qingzu had a good impression of Chang Yaxing. Even if Chang Yaxing becomes her competitor, it will not change her good impression of Chang Yaxing. Tian Qingzu said, "Brother Feng, what gift do you think Yaxing will prepare for the two of us? Will it be a bomb?" "What a joke, how could it be a bomb? At most, Yaxing's energy is to buy controlled knives, and real arms can't be obtained." Lin Feng said this to remind Tian Qingzu that Chang Yaxing will not affect our relationship in essence. Tian Qingzu didn't know much about the world, but her IQ was very high, so she completely understood what Lin Feng meant. Lin Feng and Tian Qingzu saw Chang Yaxing outside the community. She came by taxi, and her gorgeous long dress made her beautiful and graceful. Chang Yaxing was approaching, as if pure and amorous flew over together. Lin Feng had to admit that Chang Yaxing, a woman from a village girl, had changed a lot. But one thing is certain, if it wasn't for Lin Feng's kind deeds, I am afraid that Chang Yaxing would have fallen into the dust at this time. Maybe she would be a box princess, maybe she would be a watch. At this time, Chang Yaxing is not a box princess, nor is she a cousin, she is the front desk of Jinwu Center, a woman who integrates her body and mind into the bustling city. She is serious. She longs for love. Congratulations to the two of you, you have finally come together. In fact, I have already discovered that the two of you are the best match. Chang Yaxing smiled brightly, but her heart was a little bitter. She also wanted to be Lin Feng's girlfriend, and her younger brother wanted to call Lin Feng her brother-in-law, but at this time Lin Feng's girlfriend was Tian Qingzu. She once again warned herself in her heart that she could not be jealous, she could only blessings, to be worthy of brother Lin Feng. Went to Lin Feng's master bedroom together, Tian Qingzu and Chang Yaxing both sat on the sofa. Lin Feng did not sit with the two beauties, otherwise it would seem a bit crowded. He sat on the chair, smoked with Erlang's legs raised, and he was in a dashing style. With leisurely. No matter what he is in the eyes of other beauties, in the eyes of Tian Qingzu and Chang Yaxing, he is a male god. Chang Yaxing finally took out the gifts for Lin Feng and Tian Qingzu, which were two pairs of insoles. She said, "I embroidered the patterns on the insole myself. You two will put on the insoles I gave, and it will be smooth sailing." So kind. Really sincere. Lin Feng was moved. At this time, Tian Qingzu's eyes were a little wet. She knew very well that Chang Yaxing loved Lin Feng very much. To be continued. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Peach Youth. Author, Sci-fi. Chapter 457. The beautiful bamboo said, "Yaxing, how do you know my shoe size?" Secret. In fact, I noticed it when we met last time, but Chang Yaxing didn't want to say it. The beautiful bamboo smiled and did not continue to ask. Chang Yaxing asked about Miazu University, and Miazu patiently chatted with her. While Lin Feng was browsing the web, he would occasionally chat a few words, but when Chang Yaxing came over this time, it seemed that he didn't want to chat much with Lin Feng, but he really wanted to chat with Tian Qingzu in the dark. If Tian Qingzu was not by her side, when she faced Lin Feng alone, she probably wouldn't be like this. After having dinner together, Chang Yaxing left, and Lin Feng and Tian Qingzu walked on the nearby streets together. After drinking a little wine, Beauty Bamboo's face turned a little red, the aroma of her skin mixed with the smell of wine, and the hormones swirled freely. "Brother Feng, do you not want to code words after drinking?" "I didn't drink much, it won't affect my code." "Oh, will you go to the shop later?" Lin Feng said. "Of course, in 10 minutes, I will start working as a shopping guide, and I will return to the previous rhythm." Tian Qing's smile is very bright, she is very happy at this moment. While admiring the beautiful Zhu's bright smile, Lin Feng also glanced at her towering breasts, and said in his heart, "My dear friend, I don't know when you will let me do that. I'm afraid everyone at Beijing Normal University thinks that now I have had you, but I really haven't had that with you." Lin Feng returned to the master bedroom, sat on the sofa after smoking a cigarette and closed his eyes for a moment, then turned on the computer and opened the pages of the book. The data is still increasing rapidly, and several readers left a message asking how much more to write in this book, hoping to write longer. Lin Feng replied to two of the readers' messages. There is a lot more to the story of this book. Lin Feng started to code. Tian Qingzhu also started to help Dainan sell goods together in the small shop. The business is much better than during the summer vacation. The goods were replenished 2 days ago, and it is very abundant. Someone asked Tian Qingzhu what you plan to do after graduation. Her answer was that she hadn't made up her mind yet. Someone asked Tian Qingzhu and heard that the school had already decided to keep you in school in advance. Her answer seemed to be no. Someone asked Tian Qingzhu, "Where is your boyfriend Lin Feng?" Her answer was to write novels at home. Accompanied by the smell of wine, a very special person walked in. It was Zhou Ben, the monitor of Tian Qingzhu's class. Zhou Ben is not a native of Beijing. He is very handsome, his height is comparable to Lin Feng, his basketball skills are good, and he is very good at communicating with people. There are many girls in Beijing Normal University who like him. Zhou Ben fell in love with Tian Qingzhu when he was a freshman and chased after her. But he didn't catch up. Depressed, he soon started a relationship with a girl. But when he was in love with another girl, what Zhou Ben really loved was Tian Qingzhu. When Zhou Ben broke up with that girl, he confessed to Tian Qingzhu again and was rejected again. Zhou Ben, who was even more depressed, did not take any extreme actions, and soon fell in love with other girls, and then broke up again. At this time, Zhou Ben, drunk, appeared in front of Tian Qingzhu, presumably because Tian Qingzhu became Lin Feng's girlfriend to stimulate him. Tian Qingzhu had never mentioned Zhou Ben before, and Zhou Ben had never shopped at Fengnan fashion store before, so Dainan didn't know who this drunken and aggressive guy was, but she could tell that this guy treated Tian Qingzhu badly. Intentional. Dainan frowned lightly and said, "Who are you? What are you doing in the store drunkenly? Do you want to buy something? If you don't want to, just go out and don't affect the business of the store." Zhou Ben said coldly, "It's none of your business. What do you call me, a woman who has never even gone to college? I'm looking for her. Tian Qingzhu, can you come out with me?" Dainan was immediately angry. "Your mother has a leg. It's none of your business whether the old lady went to college or not." Dainan thought so, and he was about to get angry at Zhou Ben, and planned to lift his slender legs to give Zhou Ben's stomach a couple of feet. Tian Qingzhu reminded her to calm down with his eyes. In order to give Tian Qingzhu face, Dainan's slender legs were not kicked out in the end. Tian Qingzhu and Zhou Ben reached the outside of the store and walked almost 20 meters into the distance. Tian Qingzhu's footsteps stopped, and Zhou Ben's footsteps also stopped. "You have something to do with me. Other people think you are simple, but I know you are a very smart girl. What I didn't expect is that your head is short-circuited at the most critical moment. How can you be Lin Feng's girlfriend? What? Zhou Ben, please show some respect, don't slander my boyfriend casually, be careful that I turn your face with you, tell me quickly, what's the matter with me? I love you." "But I don't love you," Tian Qingzhu said. "My father said that when I graduate, he will support me to register a company with 2 million yuan. With my ability, I will soon be able to make the company grow and develop. In the near future, I will be a billionaire. I am a very famous person in the business circle of Beijing, and my social status is also very high. If you become my girlfriend, you will have endless glory and wealth, and many women will envy you. Don't say it, I'm not interested. Even if you may become the richest man in China in the future, I'm not interested in you. I only have Lin Feng in my eyes. I will be his woman in my life. Tian Qingzu ran away. Zhou Bin's head was enraged, and so was his egg. He really couldn't figure out what the kid Lin Feng gave Tian Qingzu to make her so infatuated. Zhou Bin will not give up, he plans to continue to pursue Tian Qingzu, because he is really reluctant to give up the most outstanding school flower of Beijing Normal University since its establishment. Dainan quickly learned about Zhou Bin's pursuit of Tian Qingzu, and also what Zhou Bin said to Tian Qingzu just now. Dainan was in a hurry because Lin Feng's rival in love appeared. No matter whether Zhou Bin can pose a real threat to Lin Feng, Dainan is very worried. Dainan said disdainfully, that Zhou Bin is really over his head. Even if his family has some money, he can't compare with Lin Feng. He still wants to start a company and grow stronger. I think he eats shit. Zhou Bin is still a bit capable. But I don't love him. I don't think he is comparable to my brother Feng. Comparing your abilities, Lin Feng can compare Zhou Bin to ashes. Follow Lin Feng. Only in the future will you be able to live a rich life and a happy life. Many people in Beijing City and even the entire Huaxia Kingdom will envy you. The picture described by Dainan is even more magnificent than when Zhou Bin was bragging. Tian Qingzu's smile was a little obsessed, because at this moment, the figure of Lin Feng flashed in her mind. After the store closed, Tian Qingzu was going to go back to the dormitory. But Dainan insisted on asking her to find Lin Feng, and immediately told Lin Feng that Zhou Bin was pestering her. Tian Qingzu thinks it's good, let Lin Feng prepare in advance, if Zhou Bin really finds trouble, it won't be too sudden. When Dang Nan and Mei Zhu appeared together, Lin Feng had already written 12,000 words. In a relaxed mood, he saw the two beauties appearing together, and he immediately became excited. He said in his heart, "My beautiful bamboo, are you going to sleep with Dainan or me this night?" "Your rival has appeared," Dainan said. "Rival? Grandma?" Lin Feng shouted in his heart, and his eyes suddenly widened. If a kung fu master wants to show a kind of domineering, that would be quite powerful. For example, the domineering Lin Feng showed at this time was about to set the room on fire in an instant. "Qingzu, who is pestering you?" "Zhou Bin, the monitor of our class," Tian Qingzu said. "Local or foreign?" No matter where Zhou Bin is, Lin Feng will not be afraid, but he has already started to deal with Zhou Bin, so some situations must be asked clearly. "Immigrant. I guess I have some money at home, and I usually burn buns," Lin Feng said. His family has some money, and he runs a factory to produce small commodities. I have heard people say that his family has 50 million yuan. He is indeed very busy in normal times. He invites the whole class to eat 3 times with his own money, Tian Qingzu wrote. Lin Feng probably knew about Zhou Bin's situation, and at the same time felt that Tian Qingzu didn't like Zhou Bin at all. Lin Feng kissed the beautiful Zhu's face and smiled, "It's all right. If Zhou Bin is still not reconciled and pesters you, I will fix him. Brother Feng, can you promise me? Try not to make things too big. After all, Zhou Bin and I are classmates in the same class. If you seriously injure Zhou Bin, people around me will tell me. The boy's popularity in the class is very good. Don't worry, I will take into account your situation and face." Lin Fengzin said that he would pay the whole class to eat 3 times in a row, and his popularity would naturally not be bad. If he covered all the meals for the whole class for 4 years, it is estimated that someone would call him uncle. After returning to the dormitory, Zhou Bin, who was rejected by Tian Qingzu again in pain, smashed things violently. Fortunately, all the things he fell to the ground were his own. He even dropped his laptop and mobile phone. This time, he went into a frenzy, and his personal loss was probably more than 10,000 yuan. Zhou Bin's 3 roommates were passing cigarettes and pouring water, some were cooling Zhou Bin, and some were despising Lin Feng. Because they do so, the benefits are great. Zhou Binhao will invite them to a big restaurant for a good meal. Brother Zhou, what kind of bird is Lin Feng? I can't compare with you. Your father is rich, and Lin Feng's father is hairy. That's right, Brother Zhou, you must persevere. I believe you will have no problem defeating Lin Feng at all. Tian Qingzu will definitely be yours in the end. Brother Zhou, you are the most powerful. Zhou Bin laughed. After a while, his face turned hideous. It seems that it is very necessary for me to clean up that Lin Feng. Find someone to beat him. Lin Feng knows Kung Fu. I heard that one person can beat several people. Let the president of our school's Wushu Association come on. President Zhao is not just a showman, he is a person with real Kung Fu. In the past, Hero Save the Beauty alone took care of 6 gangsters, and the 6 gangsters who fought. Looking for teeth all over the place, he retreated without any injuries. To be continued. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 458. Roommates are fanning the flames or boosting morale. Zhou Bin did think of Zhao Sushan, president of the Wushu Association of Beijing Normal University. That kid really has real kung fu. Even the big guy, Adai, who is more than 2 meters tall in the basketball team of Beijing Normal University, asked him to clean up. At that time, because of a conflict, Zhao Sushan kicked Adai to the ground. The bigger he was, the harder he fell when he fell to the ground. As a result, that kick made Adai lie on the bed for 3 days, which is very sturdy. In the past, Adai once kicked the person who offended him with 1 kick. Because of his height advantage of more than 2 meters, he could kick very high by raising his leg a little, basically above the chest of ordinary people. Physical coordination is very good, so Adai, who has never practiced Kung Fu, even if he wants to kick a person with a height of 1.7 meters on the head, it is not so difficult. But Adai's foot didn't have a chance to kick Zhao Sushan's head, but Zhao Sushan let it go. From then on, everyone at Beijing Normal University believed that Zhao Sushan was a real Kung Fu. Zhou Bin and Zhao Sushan have a good relationship. They used to have a bar together and called a massage lady in a star-rated hotel together. At the same time, Zhou Bin has also played 3 times at Zhao's fighting center opened by Zhao Sushan's house. The fighting center is very large and powerful. Some of the coaches are retired from the Beijing Sanda team, and some are from the Shishaha Sports School. A fighter and someone who is proficient in Muay Thai from Thailand. That's right. After cleaning up Lin Feng, I went to Zhao Sushan. Do not clean up Lin Feng to break up with Tian Qingzu. My surname is not Zhou. If Lin Feng is afraid and hides, then he can openly say to Tian Qingzu, see, the Lin Feng you admire so much is just a soft egg, only I, Zhou, is worthy of being your boyfriend. Master bedroom. Lin Feng was sitting on the sofa smoking a cigarette. Tian Qingzu's soft body was leaning on his body, and she didn't use any perfume, but her body was always so fragrant. Beauty Bamboo's natural body fragrance makes people very intoxicated. At this time, what Lin Feng wants to do most is to take off Beauty Bamboo's pants. Bamboo, a beautiful girl who had already become Lin Feng's girlfriend, actually didn't object to Lin Feng taking off her panties, or even teasing her wet spots. But she just hasn't agreed to let Lin Feng's gun break into her body. Maybe think. When Lin Feng broke in, she was no longer her first daughter. She had been her first daughter for many years, and she wanted to continue her first daughter for a while. Lin Feng has never liked to do things that are difficult for the strong. He is not ordinary distressed for the beautiful Bamboo. Therefore, he will not do anything to embarrass the beautiful Bamboo. When will the beautiful Bamboo let him go? Then he will go on when, and if it's time for the bridal candle, the beautiful Bamboo still won't let him go. Then he plans to fight a lawsuit with the beautiful Bamboo. But this kind of situation will never happen. Lin Feng is very confident that his behavior with the beautiful bamboo will be before marriage. Lin Feng's hand pressed against the smooth belly of the beautiful bamboo, savoring the delicacy of her smooth skin. Beauty Bamboo's breathing was a little faster than before, but it wasn't to the point of panting. When Lin Feng held her plump and kneaded them, she also gasped. The man she loved was teasing her, so she was comfortable. She's pure, but she's a normal girl, so her body gets wet with it. Picking up Beauty Bamboo onto the soft bed, Lin Feng began to take off Beauty Bamboo's clothes, and the beautiful and graceful Beauty Bamboo soon only had a pair of trousers left. The pair of plump towered shyly, and their slender legs bent into a very provocative posture. Lin Feng pressed his hand on the beautiful bamboo's trousers, looked at her face with a smile and said, "Let that one knot." After a while. Fine. Lin Feng could only continue to tease the Beauty of Bamboo with her hands. In the past, Beauty Bamboo made up her mind after listening to a dirty joke told by her roommate. If any man wants to violate her body one day, she will defend herself with her life. Body. But Lin Feng is an exception. Because Lin Feng is her boyfriend and the person she loves. This night is fragrant for Lin Feng, and warm for the beautiful bamboo. But for Zhou Ben, it was painful. Lying on the bed in the dormitory, he tossed and turned, and even wanted to call Kung Fu Master Zhao Sushan at 3 in the morning. But he was very afraid that Zhao Sushan would call him a lunatic, and then in the morning he would slap him twice in front of many passers-by, causing him to have nosebleeds. After 6 o'clock in the morning, not long after the dormitory door opened, Zhou Ben went for a run on the playground. During the run, he really wanted to see Tian Qingzhu. It would be great if the beautiful schoolgirl also came to run. If she could talk about life and ideals with the beautiful schoolgirl while running, it must be very pleasant. Zhou Ben usually eats breakfast, and he is more particular about eating breakfast than the lunch at noon, but this morning he was not in the mood to eat breakfast at all. Sitting on the stone platform beside the playground, he called Zhao Sushan, the president of the Wushu Association, and Zhou Ben's heart beat violently. He and Zhao Sushan used to have some friendship, and they played together and were decadent together. He hoped that Zhao Sushan would be there the critical moment can buy his account. Zhao Sushan likes to play with women. At this time, he was lying on the bed of a star hotel with a naked massage lady in his arms. The massage lady is also divided into 3, 6, 9, and so on. The massage lady in Zhao Sushan's arms not only has superb massage skills, but also has superb face, chest, and legs, and it is quite comfortable to play with. It was already a brace, and Zhao Sushan planned to visit her once before checking out at noon, so as to leave an indelible impression on her with his strong body. Massage girls generally don't like to serve elderly people over 60 years old, but young people who are healthy and fit will always bring them very good enjoyment, even if they pay a little more, it's nothing. Seeing that the call was from Zhou Ben, Zhao Sushan's face showed a sullen look, and he took it after a moment's pause. Lazily said, "What is your boy looking for me?" Hearing that there was something wrong with the tone, Zhou Ben began to drum in his heart, but since Zhao Sushan's number had been dialed, he still had to say what he should say. "Su Sheng, I want you to do something for me. After the event is completed, you can choose a hotel and I will treat you with a full set. Don't invite guests first, talk first." "What do you want me to do for you?" Zhao Sushan said. "Can we meet and chat?" "It's okay to meet. But we have to wait until the afternoon." "I'm very busy in the morning," Zhao Sushan said. "It is undoubtedly safer to talk about this kind of thing in person." Zhou Ben didn't want to talk about it by phone. He said, "That's good. See you at the school playground at 2 o'clock in the afternoon." Zhao Sushan threw the phone aside. In front of the massage lady who was full of material, a hungry tiger rushed to the sheep. It quickly broke into her body and snapped violently. Lin Feng slept until after 8 o'clock in the morning, hugging the beautiful bamboo's soft flesh, and saw it when he opened his eyes. The beautiful bamboo is looking at him with a very emotional look, as if she wants to melt his whole body in that look, and then slowly digest it in her heart and become a part of her life that will never be abandoned. King Zhu, what's the matter? You don't know me anymore. Of course I know you. You are my boyfriend. Otherwise, how would you be qualified to sleep with me? The reason why I look at you like this is that I never want to forget you, Tian Qingzu said. You won't forget me, and the impression I left on you will become more and more profound, Lin Fengxin said. In the same way, I will not forget you, because you have left a deep enough impression on me. Dainan originally wanted to ask Lin Feng and Tian Qingzu to have breakfast together, but she was afraid that it would disturb the good dreams of Lin Feng and Tian Qingzu, so she didn't knock on the door. Contemporary Nan was busy in the shop for almost an hour, and Tian Qingzu walked in gracefully. Dainan immediately stared at Tian Qingzu's slender legs. Tian Qingzu was puzzled, and gradually, her brows furrowed. Sister Nan, is there anything wrong with my legs? Yes, I have. What is the problem? It seems to be a little abnormal, it's probably because of the pain, Dainan laughed ambiguously. Tian Qingzu immediately understood what Dainan meant, stomped his feet in anger, and said softly, Sister Nan, how are you? Tell Sister Nan what it was like for your first time. In fact, Sister Nan is not a very curious person, but she is very interested to know about your first time. His hand, oh, his hand. What about the hands? Apart from the hand, it's the hand, Tian Qingzu said. I rely on. It seems to have looked away. Dainan can confirm through the words of Beauty Bamboo just now. Last night, Lin Feng just teased her with his hands, and there was no such thing. Dainan squeezed Tian Qingzu's arm and said with a smile, Qingzu, you are still very worried about Lin Feng. I trust Brother Feng very much. Then you. Oh, this kind of thing, I will do it with him sooner or later. After all, I have never done it before, so this is the first time. Every woman will have a first time, Dainan said. Then your first. Seeing that Dainan's face changed, Tian Qingzu didn't dare to say anything. Dainan's heart is very uncomfortable. Her first time? She has never had the first time with any man, but she and Zhao Fei had the first time. At that time, she and Zhao Fei played a ridiculous game of buzzing electric sticks. At this time Zhao Fei is already the wife of Li Xingguo, the eldest young master of the Jinwu Center. She is living a luxurious life of indiscriminate work and grain, and she still does not know where her future is. Sister Nan, maybe you will be angry, but there is a question I still want to ask. Ask. Aren't you going to find a boyfriend in your life? Tian Qingzu said. Maybe it's gone. Because you love Lin Feng, but you can't be his girlfriend, right? If Zhao Fei asked this question, she would answer truthfully, but Tian Qingzu asked this question and she couldn't answer it because Tian Qingzu was Lin Feng's girlfriend. You think too much. Lin Feng and I have always been friends, before and after. When a customer came in, Dainan hurried to introduce things, and finally no longer had to deal with Tian Qingzu about the problems that made her panic. To be continued. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 459. 2 in the afternoon. Zhou Bin and Zhao Sushan, president of the Wushu Association of Beijing Normal University, met on the playground. Zhou Bin respected the cigarette very enthusiastically. Zhao Sushan took soft Zonghua over, glanced at Zhou Bin, and said with a chuckle, "You kid is too good at finding time to call. I'm enjoying myself while hugging the beauty's body. Your phone number, I'm here. I don't even know if it should be her or you." Su Sheng, you don't seem to have that hobby. I don't have that hobby, but if you annoy me, I'll explode your chrysanthemum, Zhao Sushan said. Zhou Bin's chrysanthemum suddenly tightened, and soon he laughed. You know, I have liked green bamboo for a long time. Qingzu, that's the school flower. I'm afraid there are at least 1,000 people in our school who like her. I want to go after her. You. It's not my buddy who beat you up. I guess you're out of the picture. No man in our school is in any role, because Kingzu is already Lin Feng's girlfriend. Zhao Sushan blew a breath of smoke, and he did not see any dissatisfaction or contempt for Lin Feng from his voice. Lin Feng is not from our school. You've been a monitor for more than 3 years. Who said that the schoolgirl will definitely belong to the boys of our school? It's just like going out of Beijing Normal University may not necessarily become a teacher, you kid has other things. What's wrong? If not, I'm in a flash, Zhao Sushan said. Zhou Ben is not a fool, he has completely understood, Zhao Sushan is not hostile to Lin Feng at all. Maybe no play. But Zhou Ben still intends to say what he wants to say. Su Shen, can you help me clean up Lin Feng? Zhao Sushan's face suddenly turned cold. We are indeed friends. But Lin Feng is not my enemy, why should I deal with him? Just help my buddies. Oh, I am afraid that in the eyes of many people at Beijing Normal University, you, the president of the Wushu Association, are not Lin Feng's opponents at all. It is necessary for you to prove it to the whole school, Zhou Ben said. Zhao Sushan pouted and said, even if I want to fight Lin Feng, I will not pass such a reason. If you are interested, I will challenge him openly. I suggest you solve it with banknotes. Paying a master to deal with him. I mean, you can try to soften him with money. Give him 1 million and let him break up with Tian Qingzu. If he agrees, Tian Qingzu will definitely despise him. Then your chance will come. Zhao Sushan said with a heart. If Lin Feng, a seemingly very individual boy, really dumped Tian Qingzu for 1 million, I would despise him too. 1 million? For Zhou Ben, it is obviously too much to spend so much money for such a thing. Then I'll try. Listen to your tone. It seems a little reluctant to give up money. Don't you often boast that your father has 500 million? You take 1 million out of it to get him a good daughter-in-law to go back. It's worth it? Zhao Sushan walked while talking, and when he finished speaking, he had already walked out almost 10 meters. Fight. This is Zhou Ben's real thoughts at this time. For 1 million, he doesn't have to ask his father for help, because his own small treasury has several million. Fengnan Fashion Store, contemporary Nan is complacent. Today's turnover has almost exceeded 1,000 hours, and Zhou Ben is here. Seeing this guy who despised her because she didn't go to college again, Nan was not angry. Are you here to buy something? I'm looking for Lin Feng. He's not here, let's go. Where is he? I have to see him, Zhou Ben said. Nan said in his heart, looking at the way your kid is begging for a beating, I am afraid that when you meet Lin Feng this time, he will definitely beat you up. Nan called Lin Feng, and Lin Feng asked Zhou Ben to find him in the community where he lived. Zhou Ben has arrived. The shirts and trousers are all brand names, and the omegas are worn on the arms. Quite a bit of a gentleman's degree and a bit of arrogance, he was looking at Lin Feng with an arrogant look. Lin Feng suddenly wanted to pee on this kid's face. What are you doing for me, boy? It's better to find a quiet place to talk. Zhou Ben looked around, it is necessary for the two of us to have a serious talk. Then you come with me. Lin Feng took Zhou Ben to the master bedroom where he lived. Zhou Ben said in his heart, Lin Feng, you were too shabby when you lived there. Compared with my mansion, it was like 2 worlds. Why do you have Tian Qingzu and what can you give her? Lin Feng sat on the sofa, and Zhou Ben sat beside him. Lin Feng said, what do you want to talk about? Trade. You want to sell me something? A keyboard or a mouse, Lin Feng said. My family's factory makes toothbrushes and towels, but the annual profit is huge. Are you reminding me that if you kidnap you can get a lot of money from your father, Lin Feng said. Zhou Ben has never been kidnapped. But one of his elementary school classmates was kidnapped and the ticket was torn up. Since then, the word kidnapping has left a strong shadow in his heart. Hearing what Lin Feng said just now, his body shivered. Lin Feng said in his heart, I haven't even touched you, yet you start to tremble, you son of a bitch. If you break up with King Zhu, I will give you 1 million. Too little. How much do you want? 1 billion, Lin Feng said. You bastard. Zhou Ben roared, and with a snap, he couldn't shout, because Lin Feng slapped his face violently. Blood spattered from his mouth and 3 teeth were lost. The painful and sour taste made his tears almost flow out, awu several times, but all that came out were indistinct sounds. Actually, you don't need to be so excited just now. If you don't call me a bastard, you won't be knocked off 3 teeth by my slap. Lin Feng lit a cigarette and took a leisurely puff. He smiled and said, the 1 billion yuan I just proposed is not too much at all. If you use money to measure the status of green bamboo in my heart, it is at least 1 billion yuan. Lin Fengzin said, I estimate that you can't even get 100 million yuan, so don't you have 50 million in total? Not really rich, why do you have to flinch? If your family wealth exceeds 1 billion yuan, what I just said is 5 billion yuan, who will not shock you? Although Lin Feng didn't have that much money, he dared to say what kind of astronomical figures his mouth was. When he was so angry, he drew a positive infinity symbol on the paper with a pen. Gates shook his head helplessly when he saw the symbol. Then turn around and walk away. In a minute. You must disappear from my room. 1 million is really not enough. Bang bang. Lin Feng punched Zhou Bin's stomach twice. Zhou Bin's internal organs were turned upside down, and his seemingly lean body was about to fall apart. Bending his body and falling from the sofa to the ground, Zhou Bin was left with only pain and agony. About 10 minutes later, Zhou Bin just stood up. Very embarrassed to escape from the master bedroom of the rental house that seemed like a nightmare to him. The image is so embarrassing. Zhou Bin, a good-faced person, didn't dare to walk on the street. Fortunately, he saw a taxi as soon as he walked out of the community, and he waved his hand to stop it. Dude. Someone beat up? Go to the hospital. Don't go to the hospital, go to the hotel. Which one? Zhou Bin reported the name of a hotel. When the driver heard it, he was a good guy. He had to go to a 5-star hotel after being beaten. This life is tough enough. The 5-star hotel did not discriminate against those who were beaten and injured, so Zhou Bin walked into the luxurious room proudly. 3 teeth were lost, and his mouth was swollen so high that it hurt to touch it a little, but Zhou Bin still endured the pain and washed his face. It hurts, daddy. Lin Feng, I must make you pay the price. My dad has always been sharp to those who stand in his way, but now that you stand in the way of my love, I will be sharp to you too. Thinking like this, Zhou Bin, who was sitting on the sofa dialing the phone, had his fingers shaking, and he contacted Zhao Sushan again. When Zhao Sushan saw the call, he immediately guessed that Zhou Bin had already been beaten. It's strange that Lin Feng doesn't smoke him. Zhao Sushan picked it up and said with a smile, has the negotiation been done? Does the 1 million you propose make Lin Feng very happy? Dude, I let him hit, Zhou Bin howled in pain. Where are you? Hotel. Zhou Bin said the name of the hotel, and more than 40 minutes later, Zhao Sushan arrived, accompanied by a beauty. This beauty is Qiao Xiao, the current vice president of the Student Union of Beijing Normal University. Qiao Xiao is a very hot girl, but she has always been Zhou Bin's love interest. When Zhou Bin is masturbating, he always thinks of Qiao Xiao, because this woman's graceful and plump body can easily make his pleasure come violently. Qiao Xiao is a socialite. Not only is she very influential in Beijing Normal University, she is also very influential in local circles in the society. If the student union wants to hold a large-scale event, it needs hundreds of thousands of social sponsorships, even if the president shows up. Jiao Xiaojiao can do things that can't be solved. Jiao Xiaojiao did not treat Zhou Ben as a dish, although Zhou Ben was quite capable, but in Jiao Xiaojiao's heart, he was just a clown. At best, is a little familiar with the dean. Jiao Xiaojiao suddenly screamed, "Zhou Ben, what's wrong with you, your mouth? Disgraceful," and thrown home. It was definitely not the result Zhou Ben wanted to let the target of Italian silver see such an unbearable mouth. He hoped that what Jiao Xiaojiao saw was his rosy lips and flexible tongue, kissing and touching. Zhou Ben went out of his way, so he showed a more sad expression than before, let Lin Feng fight. Ever since the beauty school Huaishan Qingzu and Lin Feng got to know each other, Jiao Xiaojiao had learned that there was a foreigner named Lin Feng wandering near Beijing Normal University. Since the news that Tian Qingzu became Lin Feng's girlfriend, Jiao Xiaojiao's curiosity about Lin Feng has become stronger. Impressive. Even the beauty school Hua Tian Qingzu got it? Seeing that Lin Feng beat Zhou Ben like this, Jiao Xiaojiao even admired Lin Feng a little. Zhao Sushan and Jiao Xiaojiao sat on the sofa together. Until now, Zhou Ben still doesn't understand. Zhao Sushan just came to find him. Why did he bring Jiao Xiaojiao with him? To be continued. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 460. In fact, Zhao Sushan was chatting with Jiao Xiaojiao about a wet topic just now, that is, Jiao Myron, at least a dozen men have you, why didn't you let me? Jiao Xiaojiao's answer was, you beast, which I did you see me being raped by more than 10 men? Zhao Sushan said, if you don't let those men go, why do those men give you so much face? Jiao Xiaojiao said, rely on my ability and charm. Hearing the ability and charm that came out of Jiao Xiaojiao's mouth, Zhao Sushan immediately smelled a strong wind-burning breath. If it rains at this time, even the rain will smell like the wind, just because a woman has advertised herself in the rain. Faced with the 1 million you proposed, what did Lin Feng say? Lin Feng said that green bamboo is worth 1 billion in his heart, Zhou Ben said. Zhao Sushan and Jiao Xiaojiao both laughed. Jiao Xiaojiao said heartily, this Lin Feng is really too individual. Zhao Sushan said in his heart that Lin Feng is a man to befriend, so he looked back and tried to be friends with him. Zhao Sushan said, I consider you a friend, so I advise you to give up Tian Qingzu. Su Shen, this is not what I want to hear. Oh, if I give you 1 million, can you help me deal with Lin Feng? You want to hear the truth? Zhou Ben was very hopeful. Even if Zhao Sushan offered 2 million, he would give it up, because he wanted to offend the school beauty bamboo too much. Even if you give me 10 million, I will not help you deal with Lin Feng, and I also warn you. If you continue to try to deal with Lin Feng, I will kill you, Zhao Sushan said. There was a rumbling sound of thunder in Zhou Ben's head. He couldn't believe it. This was what came out of Zhao Sushan's mouth. Of course, Zhao Sushan couldn't really kill Zhou Ben, and even though he is powerful, he hasn't really killed anyone. You don't think I'm a friend? If you give up dealing with Lin Feng and the beautiful bamboo, I may still treat you as a friend. If you are stubborn, then you are not a friend at all. Zhao Sushan has made it clear what he should say. A few minutes later, he took Jiao Xiaojiao out of the hotel. Sitting in the car, Zhao Sushan wanted to kiss Jiao Xiaojiao's face, but she covered his mouth with her hand. You burning goods, you love to pretend to be pure in front of me. Zhao Sushan. You bastard. I warn you. If you say I'm a burner, then I'll ignore you, and you won't ask me again in the future. Tears were coming out of Jiao Xiaojiao's eyes. Really able to install. Simply the world's first outfit. But no matter how capable Jiao Xiaojiao is, Zhao Sushan just likes her. I like her beauty, her unrestrainedness, and her very wind-burning taste. Be my girlfriend. Thinking. How long do you have to think about it? You just entered the third year, but I am already a senior, Zhao Sushan said. If you can't wait, then find another girl to be your girlfriend. Your conditions are so good, there will be many girls who are willing to let you play. Listen to what you said, what are these words? It's like I'm looking for a girlfriend just for fun, I'm for marriage and having children, Zhao Sushan said. Ha ha ha. Jiao Xiaojiao laughed exaggeratedly, and the pair of towering swayed heartily. Zhao Sushan held the steering wheel with one hand, freed one hand to scratch Jiao Xiaojiao's chest, and said sullenly, "Why are you laughing so exaggeratedly? It's like I told a joke just now." Isn't what you told a joke just now? You've dated many girls, but you haven't seen anyone you want to marry. That's because I want to marry you, Zhao Sushan said. Jiao Xiaojiao was silent. Her delicate face was slightly red, she was very quiet at the moment, but Zhao Sushan still thought she had a fever. Hotel room. Zhou Ben burst into tears, and finally called his father, who was considered a figure in his home city. His father warned him that there is no grass anywhere in the world, you should give up Tianqingzhu, otherwise it will lead to uncontrollable consequences. This man with considerable social experience is very clear that even if he really wants to stand up for his son, he will not be able to make any waves when he arrives in Beijing. Forget it. Take a step back. After searching and finding, Zhou Ben's last trump card can only be his father. Since his father said so, he could only reluctantly give up Tianqingzhu. People like Zhou Ben couldn't do something that was too extreme. Zhao Sushan and Jiao Xiaojiao went to Fengnan fashion store together, and Lin Feng was also there. Lin Feng was really surprised to see Zhao Sushan, the president of the Wushu Association of Beijing Normal University, with Jiao Xiaojiao, a beautiful woman who is known as the courtesan of Beijing Normal University. I don't know if they are here to buy things or to make trouble. According to common sense, neither Zhao Sushan nor Jiao Xiaojiao will like anything sold by this small shop. Needless to say, Zhao Sushan, since elementary school, he has been a person who is very concerned about dressing, and he will dress himself up every day. As for Jiao Xiaojiao, I don't know what kind of life she lived in the past, at least she is wearing famous brands now, and her smile is very charming, but it is not noble. Jiao Xiaojiao wandered between the shelves, Dinan followed her, introduced products to her, and hoped that this famous brand person could contribute some turnover to the store. Zhao Sushan sat beside Lin Feng, smiled at Lin Feng, took out a cigarette and handed it over. After a brief analysis, Lin Feng felt that there should be no problem with the cigarette, so he took it in his mouth and started smoking. Your kung fu is very high. It's okay, Lin Feng smiled. Who is your master? My father. Are you just a master? My father is the only master, Lin Feng said. I have 3 official masters, and there are a dozen or so including those who have instructed me on kung fu moves. It's not that the more masters there are, the more powerful they are. After watching the Condor Heroes, you will know that the 7 monsters in the south of the Yangtze River can't compare to one Hongkigong, Lin Feng said. Zhao Sushan suddenly lost face. I originally wanted to show off in front of Lin Feng, but I didn't expect to be blocked by him so strongly. With a bag in her hand, Jiao Xiaojiao laughed. The reason she laughed so happily was because she heard the conversation between Lin Feng and Zhao Sushan just now. Regardless of his family background, Lin Feng is at least a very high-level person. He has high kung fu, can write novels, and even speaks so powerfully. This is what socialite Jiao Xiaojiao said to Lin Feng in his heart. Lin Feng, do you dare to fight me? Where? Zhao's fight center. If I don't fight you, it is estimated that you will challenge me in the future. So I will fight you, Lin Feng said. Zhao Sushan was very happy, because Lin Feng accepted his challenge, whether he won or lost, he was very happy. He wanted to make friends with Lin Feng. This is his first step. Lin Feng also saw it. Zhao Sushan has no ill will towards him. What Jiao Xiaojiao said was surprising. Zhao Sushan, you go first, I want to chat with Lin Feng alone for a while. Zhao Sushan said in his heart, I rely on it. You bastard, you can do it, I'm walking with you, but you want to chat with Lin Feng alone for a while. But Jiao Xiaojiao said so, if he didn't leave, he would be very dignified, so Zhao Sushan could only walk out with a black face. Lin Feng smiled and said, Jiao Xiaojiao, what do you want to talk to me about? Talk about your book. Okay. Lin Feng immediately became interested, no matter who wanted to chat with him, he would be very interested, and he wished that his loyal readers would become more and more. Where did the inspiration for your book come from? Life. Online novels that are too realistic are easy to hit the streets. You even know this. It seems that you don't know anything about our industry, Lin Feng said. I know a lot. For Qiao Ziajiao's announcement at this time, Lin Feng absolutely recognized it. If she didn't know much, Qiao Xiaojiao would not be able to become a courtesan of Beijing Normal University. The chat lasted for more than half an hour. During the whole process, the aroma on Qiao Ziajiao's body and her line stimulated Lin Feng's nerves, but he knew very well that Jiao Xiaojiao was Zhao Sushan's prey. Qiao Ziajiao's home is out of town. Based on intuition, Lin Feng thinks that Jiao Ziajiao's family is not much better. The reason why she can get along well in Beijing Normal University and become the vice president of the school student union is because of her communication ability. As for whether Jiao Xiaojiao has put her body in contact with various types of people, Lin Feng can't be sure. On the surface, Jiao Xiaojiao is a bit rambunctious, but what she has done in the past, I am afraid only she knows. When Jiao Xiaojiao was about to leave, she asked for Lin Feng's chat number, saying that she would often chat with Lin Feng about novels in the future. Lin Fengzin said, don't take your fancy to me, although you are very beautiful and sexy, my interest in you is very limited. After Jiao Xiaojiao left the store, Dainan was a little unhappy, came over and said angrily, you are really good, Jiao Xiaojiao wants your chat number, you can give it to him, do you really want to have something to do with her? Like this? Woman, be careful, she sticks to you. It is estimated that she will not post me. I gave her a chat number because she wants to be my reader, Lin Feng said. Dainan was at a loss for words. She knew that Lin Feng would never let go of any opportunity to develop loyal readers. Night. Lin Feng was typing, his chat number flashed, and a friend added a message, nicknamed Little Frog. Could it be Qiao Xiaojiao? How could that big beauty courtesan be called Frog? After browsing the information, Lin Feng felt that this little frog had a 99% chance of being Qiao Xiaojiao, so he passed the verification of his friends. Lin Feng didn't think Qiao Xiaojiao would chat with him eagerly, so he started to code again. But he was wrong. Qiao Ziajiao's chatting with him was clearly very strong, and soon a bright smile came over. When Lin Feng was thinking about whether to give her a smile or send a message, Qiao Xiaojiao sent another rose. Sending roses to each other on the internet may not mean anything, but the roses that Qiao Xiaojiao sent him are very intriguing. Lin Feng said in his heart, Qiao Xiaojiao, what do you want to do as a courtesan, do you want to be in a relationship with me? I'm not that sociable because I'm a pea sometimes. If Lin Feng became sexual, many people would have nothing to do with him. To be continued. Peach Youth. Author, Su Kifeng. Chapter 461. Lin Feng, what do you want to do? Little Frog, I don't force you to see you, but I'll frighten you. Even if I want to force you to see you, it's you who will be happy, and it's me who will suffer. Lin Feng smiled. He didn't expect such a lively chat to start. Qiao Xiaojiao is really hot enough that she even mentioned Jiang Jian so quickly. Lin Feng, have you been forced to see you before, so you really want to see it back? Little Frog, you. Jiao Xiaojiao had nothing to say. Lin Feng had a great sense of achievement, and he even hoped that Jiao Xiaojiao would not send him any messages this evening, so that he could write with peace of mind. But the little frog soon came to the news again. Do you think I am a very capable person? This question is a more serious question. Although it is very suspicious, Lin Feng still intends to answer it in a serious way. Lin Feng, if you are not a very capable person, then you will not become a social flower. You must be a master at dealing with interpersonal relationships. Little frog, I have dealt with a lot of relationships with people who are irrelevant to me before. I think I have been very successful in dealing with these relationships, but now I have a problem. Can you help me? Lin Feng, what's the problem? Little frog, I have a boyfriend, but Zhao Sushan is chasing me fiercely. The problem is out. Jiao Xiaojiao actually has a boyfriend, and almost everyone at Beijing Normal University believes that Jiao Xiaojiao has no boyfriend, and she is simply a public lover. Lin Feng, I can't seem to help you with such a complicated problem. If this kind of problem happens to me, I'm afraid I don't even know what to do. Jiao Xiaojiao, please, help me, I will become your loyal reader. Jiao Xiaojiao is extremely smart. If she asks others for help, what she needs to pay may be a large meal or a certain amount of banknotes, or even a very warm ambiguity, but when she asks Lin Feng for help, she only needs to say, I will just be your loyal reader. Will Jiao Xiaojiao read Lin Feng's books often in the future? He is unlikely to follow them around the clock. But Jiao Xiaojiao's words really caught Lin Feng's weakness. He immediately thought, although he can't do anything for the time being, it's not a bad thing to help Jiao Xiaojiao with the staff. Lin Feng, give it a try. Little frog, I want to see you. Lin Feng, I'm coding, tomorrow. Little frog, just tonight. Lin Feng, then 1 hour later. Little frog, okay. Lin Feng felt a little regretful. An hour later, Nan came back. If he meets Jiao Xiaojiao, Nan can see it. Wouldn't Nan be furious and think that he was going to do something wrong to Tian Qingzhu? Nan doesn't mind Lin Feng playing casually, but she does mind that Lin Feng associates with women who may become Tian Qingzhu's competitors. For example, this courtesan Jiao Xiaojiao. Within this hour, Lin Feng typed another 4,000 words, and today it has reached 12,000 words. He did not ask Jiao Xiaojiao to meet at the gate of the community, but to a small intersection 200 meters away from Fengnan Fashion Store. Lin Feng didn't let Nan see him. When he got to the small intersection, Jiao Xiaojiao in bodysuit was already waiting. The pink shirt and rose-red trousers completely highlighted her exquisite figure. Lin Feng said, "Meet me, you don't have to dress so." Jiao Xiaojiao said, "I didn't even notice how nasty my clothes were, but you did." It's true that the wearer has no intention to see and the person has a heart. The speed of response and eloquence were a bit too arrogant, and Lin Feng felt that he was not an opponent. The courtesan really isn't blown out, it's a bit of real skill, and it takes a long time to achieve this state. Jiao Xiaojiao said, "This small intersection is a little dark, we might as well find a bright spot." Are you afraid of bad people coming? That's not true. With a kung fu master like you by my side, what bad people would I be afraid of? What if I'm a bad person? Lin Feng said. Do you have a criminal record? No. Then you're not going to be bad. It turns out that Jiao Xiaojiao relies on this to judge how bad a person can be. Although it is a little unreliable, it also has a very realistic reason. Many major cases are committed by people with criminal records. Jiao Xiaojiao said again, I like bright, because I am a very sunny person, so I hate such dim small intersections. Brightness will come soon, just don't blind your eyes by then. A taxi came over, and Lin Feng stopped the car and sat in with Jiao Xiaojiao. Jiao Xiaojiao began to seriously despise what Lin Feng said just now. Isn't it just taking a taxi and blinding the old lady's eyes? If you really let me ride a luxury car of more than 2 million, then my mother will not be too angry. Jiao Xiaojiao even thought that Lin Feng had never been in a car of more than 200,000 yuan before, so taking a taxi was already a very luxurious consumption for him. Outside the high-end community, Jiao Xiaojiao thought she was just passing by, but the taxi stopped. After getting out of the car, Jiao Xiaojiao really had a feeling of blinding her eyes, because the community was so high-end that she envied her. There are your friends here. Do you want your friends to help me with you? Actually, I don't want too many people to know about me. There are no friends of mine here yet, but here is a mansion of mine, Lin Feng said. Dizzy. The old lady's eyes were really blinded. As soon as the old lady's eyes were dark, she couldn't see anything. The old lady calmed down for a moment, and suddenly it was bright again. You're really good, you can really pretend. You're a courtesan, don't just say the word, you can be very rude, but your words must be very cultivated, so that you can be more rude, Lin Feng said. Don't say I'm mad. Jiao Xiaojiao raised her slender leg and kicked it on Lin Feng's calf. Without any force, Lin Feng didn't feel any pain at all, but the aroma was rippling. This evening, before meeting with Lin Feng, Jiao Xiaojiao really sprayed a lot of rose-scented perfume. Lin Feng didn't screw Jiao Xiaojiao's thigh, because he didn't want his relationship with Jiao Xiaojiao to suddenly become chaotic, and provoking this courtesan might make him very troublesome. Walking into a high-end community together, almost every scene can brighten Jiao Xiaojiao's eyes. It's not that she hasn't been to a good place since she came to Beijing for so long, but everything in front of her is more real. Lin Feng's mansion. Standing in the living room, Jiao Xiaojiao looked from side to side. At this moment, her courtesan was like Grandma Lu entering the Grand View Garden. In fact, her current posture was very shameful, but Lin Feng did not intend to use this to ridicule Jiao Xiaojiao. Things that are not good for yourself or others. Still don't do it well. Sit down. Then I'm welcome. Jiao Xiaojiao's round buttocks finally landed on the soft velvet sofa and gave Lin Feng a bright smile. This smile is not hot, very sunny. Lin Feng said, it's time to chat. Jiao Xiaojiao said, let me get used to it. Lin Feng lit a cigarette and said with a smile, if you don't feel comfortable in my mansion, we can go out and talk. Oh. No, you must be very comfortable here. It is because it is so comfortable that I need to get used to it, Jiao Xiaojiao said. Lin Feng understood. Up to this moment, the blinded eyes of the beautiful courtesans have not completely recovered. Fortunately, the blinded eyes are generally not permanently blinded. A few minutes later, Jiao Xiaojiao said, get me some water to drink. Then wait, I have to boil the water first. Although this mansion is mine, I don't live here often. Lin Feng went to boil water. Jiao Xiaojiao said heartily, if I had such a nice mansion in Beijing, I wouldn't be able to live in it. Lin Feng boiled water and brewed tea and brought it over. The tea was brought by him, and it was the best biluakun. Sitting on the soft sofa and sipping good tea, Jiao Xiaojiao said, my boyfriend is in his hometown, guess what he does? As long as he is not a thief, no matter what occupation he is in, I will not despise him, Lin Feng said. Of course it's not a thief. He grows vegetables in a greenhouse and earns more than 300,000 yuan a year. He often brags to me about his ability, and he will definitely give me happiness in the future, but I don't want to go back and marry him after graduation. I just want to stay in Beijing. The reason why I come here to go to university is because I like it here. Understand? What's the use of understanding, but I love him very much, let me tell you, I have never betrayed him before, don't look at me as a courtesan in the eyes of everyone, but I have never let other men succeed, those men, at least they touched my breasts, their evil hands never even had a chance to touch my panties. Jiao Xiaojiao thought it was pretty good that she could reach this level, maybe because she was very proud, so her slender legs swayed back and forth a few times and touched Lin Feng's legs. The brief contact made Lin Feng feel the heat. At this moment, Lin Feng's body is tall and straight, even if he doesn't want to do anything to Xiao, he has already stimulated this beautiful courtesan. Do you think I'm great? It's kind of awesome. Although Lin Feng would not choose a courtesan like Xiao as his girlfriend, he also admitted that Xiao is indeed a bit powerful. Am I just a little bit good? I'm just too good. Xiao's body swayed, and she touched Lin Feng's body in a large area, and almost got into Lin Feng's arms. Even if you are very powerful, you don't need to be so excited. In order to make himself more calm, Lin Feng could only light another cigarette and start smoking. Xiao giggled. At this moment, she looked at Lin Feng with peach eyes, full of teasing and teasing him. Lin Feng avoided Xiao's eyes, but he didn't appear restrained after all. This was in his mansion, and it was not easy for him to make a guest feel restrained. Lin Feng turned on a large screen LCD TV, and the high-definition station had a strong visual impact. But Xiao's mind was completely off the TV, and she said in silence for a long time, "If I break up with my current vegetable farmer boyfriend and choose to be with Zhao Sushan, will you think I'm despicable? I'm not your vegetable farmer boyfriend, so I don't think you are despicable." "I guess no one will think you are despicable except your vegetable farmer boyfriend and his relatives and friends," Lin Feng said. "I see, you mean, even if I do, my meanness is partial. It must be partial. It is impossible for you, the courtesan of Beijing Normal University, to make people all over the world feel that you are despicable. For example, the US President Lao Ao, he will not slap you, as long as you do not give the United States. If you put the away, he won't think you are despicable," Lin Feng said. "Oh shit." The courtesan was angry again, and she jumped into Lin Feng's arms and grabbed his neck. To be continued.